So this morning, I want to start off our inspirational segment by sharing with you the words of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, of course, was one of the greatest basketball players to have ever played the game. So during an interview, he said once that during my basketball career, I have missed more than 9,000 shots. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have been entrusted to take the winning shot in the game and I ended up missing. I have failed over and over again in my life. And that is precisely why I have succeeded. Success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm and your drive. When you give yourself permission to fail, you at the same time simultaneously give yourself permission to excel. And on that note, I want you to listen to this. In the kingdom, a long time ago, there was a majestic king who ruled over the states. One day, a precious stone trader came to visit the king and presented a beautiful, precious stone as a gift to the king. The king was very, very happy to receive such an expensive stone. He decided to have the stone carved into a replica statue of himself. And the idea was that that statue was going to be installed in the castle. So the king allotted the work and assigned the work of building the statue to one of his ministers. The minister then went to the best sculptor in the land. And giving him the stone, he said that the mighty king wants a replica of the statue of himself built. Within 7 days, prepare the statue from this precious stone and send it to the palace. For this, you will be paid 50 gold coins. The sculptor was very, very happy to hear the news, very happy to hear the reward of 50 gold coins to create only one statue. So immediately he took out his tools and got down to work. From his tools, he took out a hammer, and with it, he made an attempt to break the stone, but the stone remained intact. The sculptor then made several blows with the hammer on the stone, but the stone remained unbroken. Blow after blow, after trying for 50 times, the sculptor was about to give up. He was about ready to give up. He raised the hammer for a final attempt, but before he could bring the hammer down, he reflected to himself, saying that I was not able to break the stone after making 50 attempts. What difference would one more try make? And so saying, he pulled away his hand and did not make that final blow. He eventually lost hope, accepted failure, and took the stone back to the minister, saying that it is impossible to break this stone. Therefore, I cannot create a statue for the king. The minister, on the other hand, he had a full responsibility to fulfill the king's order in every situation. Therefore, he entrusted the task of building the statue to a simple sculptor of the village. This sculptor immediately pulled out his hammer and in front of the minister broke the stone with one hit. After the stone was broken, the sculptor was able to create and prepare a most beautiful statue of the king. At this point, the minister started thinking that really and truly all the hard work was done by the first sculptor. Had he not thrown in the towel and accepted failure, had he mustered up the courage to make one final effort, he would have exceeded, and he would have succeeded, and he would have been entitled to 50 gold coins. As it turned out, the second sculptor, he benefited from all the hard work of the first guy. All he had to do was to make one blow, because all the hard work was already done for him from before. he ended up succeeding in the end. He walked away with the 50 gold coins, whereas the first sculptor, in spite of doing all of the effort, all of the hard work, he eventually had to walk away empty-handed. What is the moral? The moral is quite simply this: if you want to achieve success in life, then despite repeated failures, you should never stop trying until success is achieved. Don't ever accept failure as an option, because you never know how close to success you really are. Keep hammering away, and one day you will break through. The road to success is filled with many, many failures. In order to truly appreciate success, you must first know the taste of failure. If you are human, then you are bound to experience failure at some point. We all have times when we fail. Nobody is perfect. What sets us apart and what makes a huge difference is how we handle failure. Therefore, we need to adjust our perspective and learn to see the positive outcomes of failure. Failure is such a negative word that it is hard to see it as a good thing. When we make mistakes and don't succeed, it is a natural inclination within us to feel disappointed. In many instances, there is a fear attached to failure. It is a situation where you fear failing in life. You fear trying anything new. You fear taking a chance. You fear venturing out of your comfort zone. And that fear cripples you and prevents you from moving forward, because you would rather simply stay within your comfort zone, the zone of familiarity. However, in spite of how negative and scary you perceive failure to be, in spite of how negative and scary failure may be, you should know that there are many positive outcomes from failure. If you can use that failure, it can contribute to your personal growth and ultimately to your happiness. When you fail, you learn resilience. You become resilient, and every single time you fail, you grow stronger. And when you grow stronger, each time you experience failure, that strength pushes you further along. When you fail, that failure fuels a certain level of determination within you. Do not allow failure to make you think about throwing in the towel. Let that failure be the fuel from within that will propel you forward. Failure at the end of the day builds character. So failure may seem to be a negative thing, but there are many powerful things that can be used out of failure. Failure is indeed a very powerful tool. There are so many positive outcomes of failure, endless opportunities for personal growth. So as you go through the course of your life, try embracing failure as opposed to fearing it. Don't fear failure, embrace it, and find the opportunities in adversity. And finally, I want to leave you with a challenge for this week. Challenge yourself this week and make a list of some of the times in your past when you have tried and failed at something. Sit down and make a list of all of those times you tried something and you failed. And for each time you fail, each time you have failed in the past, try to find at least one positive outcome, and then use that memory to change your perspective and to change your fears of future failures. And you would see how quickly the doors will open for you, and how quickly the Almighty will remove all obstacles from your path.